with recording. Up here's how you stop and pause it. It'll end the recording, obviously, when you end the meeting.
Okay, how do we admit people?
So when people are ready, I'll get this pop up. They'll pop up here.
Right.
And they'll have a blue thing saying,
Yeah.
and you admit it, and they'll admit it, and I'll leave that open, so it's.
Okay,
there. Oh, see, and person Lenny. Admit, right?
yeah.
We got Lenny.
You there, Lenny? See you.
About Mike, is he?
I'm gonna see if he popped up there.
Yeah.
You guys all set or?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Call her if anything happens, okay?
Great, thanks. Thanks. Dick.
Yes.
You're muted.
We asked him to unmute.
Here I am. I think I'm unmuted now.
Okay.
Hello? Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay.
No Michael yet.
No, Michael, give him maybe he thinks it's 4.
Could be. You wanna call him?
Yeah. No, he knew that the time was 3 because he talked to me before about making sure it gets. The town knows we're gonna be out of sync, when our these were 4.
Oh,
It was like last week, but
how you feeling, Lenny?
Not great. It's funny. It kind of comes and goes and different. I mean, it has its ups and downs. I felt pretty good yesterday, but not so good today.
I
I just feel kind of headachy and achy and, a little bit like the flu. I mean, it's not real bad, but it's not great. So.
You take Paxlovid?
No, I didn't. I mean, I discussed it with the nurse at my, at the Belgrade Health Center, which is where I go. And since I'd had I had the booster 2 months before, and she said that it would not actually shorten the amount of time that I had it. I don't know why. And she said also, I've been taking Lipitor forever. She said I would have to stop taking that for 10 days, 5 days while I was taking the Paxlovid and 5 days afterwards. And she didn't really recommend that.
Yeah.
So all in all, she said there wasn't really any, she didn't see that it was likely that it would help me. So I said, okay, fine.
Yeah, my office administrator had COVID and took Paxlovid, and it caused her a great deal of diarrhea, so.
Yeah, right. She mentioned that as a side effect. And so she mentioned several side effects as not just possible, but likely, including diarrhea. And I said, yeah, maybe not a good idea. So.
So is it, if we only have three, is that quorum?
We have 4 members.
We only have 4 members, so I think it's.
We're supposed to have 7 members.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Do we need to, speaking of shortage of members, do we need to be in touch with the Messalonsky Lake Association? I guess I kind of assumed that Mike Garino would see to our getting a new member, but it doesn't seem to be happening.
I've got some information on that I can bring up.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, do you? Good.
Maybe we should start the meeting.
Yeah, I think, I'll read that once more to them. Hey, Mike, this is Pat Donahue. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Lenny, did you see last night's select board meeting?
No, I did not.
Once Mike gets on, I'll give you a rundown on that. That's our first agenda.
I heard that you were in Vermont with a kind of not a very good connection.
Yes, it was, almost like in every other word, they could hear me and I could hear them, so it was
I see.
very difficult. But it wasn't all bad news. I'll tell you, once Mike comes in. Yet on mine. Yes, Mike, I don't know if you tried to get through yet. We haven't seen you pop up. Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, can happen. Okay, thank you. We'll just hang right here. I'm still here, yeah. Should be able to join. I just admitted you. So it's connecting to audio. Mike Barrett. There you go.
Can't hear you.
Ask to unmute, yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you hear us, Mike?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Good.
We'll begin. Present today is myself, Pat Donahue, Paul Feinberg, Eddie Reich, and Michael Barrett. First order of business was discussion of the select board's review of our proposed Lakes and Natural Resources Committee bylaws. That was held yesterday. I was in Vermont and went on by Zoom. We had a pretty poor connection. I was in and out. So they could hear a couple words from me, then I'd hear a couple from them. But we did get to go through two things. One, which I think was the most important part, was the section 1, the authorities and duties. That was, the really our mission statement, and they approved that. So that they didn't ask for any changes on that. They went through that, and we had some discussion. At that point, we're discussing that. I had a good connection, so we could talk about it. and they left it as is. Their question was mostly the paragraph 3, which was terms, committee members will be appointed to staggered terms for more than 3 years, et cetera. This is the one we had when we were the Lakes Committee that they approved it at one time when that committee was formed, but they had some discussion that they didn't. And I couldn't hear what they were saying about what it was, so I'm gonna have to talk to Laura E. Nichols to kind of flesh it out, but couple of issues, they were talking about three-year terms. And I think they did the math of how this was drafted up, 3-year terms to 4-year terms. They thought was awkward and wanted us to model it after the libraries committee wordage or something like that. So this will be something we'll have to get back to them. And I'm going to kind of ask Lorna if she was there at the meeting to kind of give us what they wanted to hear on that, how we should make much changes. I don't think they made any changes in section 4, which is meeting officers' attendance or quorum or compensation. It was all in the calculation of term length. Also means of succession, time limit of a chair, things like that. So that section, they want us to come back with a rewritten version of it. As soon as we can, go for the next meeting if possible. And that was about it on that. Any questions on that? No. So what I'll do is I'll get together with Lorna and see what they want to do, and so we're not you're just trying to fish in the dark and say this is what it should be. Some of the select board members had some clear, verbiage they wanted inserted in it. Carol Johnson had a few comments and the others did, so all good ones, but they just all right, thought this was awkward. And
Lorna's not here now.
not here, but I'll get together and send this to them.
Mary's here and she knew what we talked about.
Yeah.
She talked to Lorna about it.
They all approved it from, first go around. Second item of new business for discussion of a new charter. So, this was, I think, when I put that in, I was presuming we would finish up the bylaws first and have completed them yesterday, but we're still on the bylaws. So, do you know how the charter process should work, Mike? Is that something the town officials draw up, or we should send them a draft and kind of work through it like we did with the bylaws?
It's always give them some, it's always better to give them something to deal with, to work from. Because they'll
Yeah.
sit around, the chance of them writing something up is slim. You know what I mean?
Right. So we'll need to.
Is that what you want to know?
Yes, so I thought it was, we would write up a new charter for the Lakes and Natural Resources Committee.
You modeled it on the old one.
Yes,
What exactly is a charter? I don't, as opposed to the other documents?
The charter, I think, is basically the select board's authorization where they all sign it.
yes,
Yeah.
it's
I see.
has
Oh,
the,
okay, fine, very good.
a section of authority by what? So a charter would begin once they've approved the bylaws. and-
I see, okay, yep.
They put dates in that, there's a purpose, committee structure. And then the select board sign, so I'll send what we have now out to everybody. And we can, our mission statement will be the new mission statement. There's a section 2 is on purpose, and that's kind of I'll just read it to you what we have now. Lakefront property accounts for majority of Belgrade's property tax base. The lakes are also a centerpiece of the community's tourism industry. Thus, the lakes are crucial to Belgrade's economic and recreational vitality and its aesthetic beauty. The lakes are a resource that must be protected and preserved, not only for community, but for the entire state of Maine and beyond. That was kind of the purpose, so that we would have to revise that to reflect our natural resource component now. And our existing charter is available online. If you go to the Lakes Committee, you see the charter and the bylaws. We want to have everybody take a look at this, and then we've had good success in kind of putting the teamwork, putting these together, or just have.
Lenny's pretty good at it.
Lenny's really good at it. So Lenny, would you mind taking a look at it?
Sure,
The
happy to.
yeah, because you've done some been a big help putting all this together, you know. And Lenny, I put you down for a proposed draft of the charter.
Well, just, I mean, send me the previous charter and whatever there is for the new material. It'd probably be fairly straightforward, I would think.
Yes, and I'll work with Laura, Ali, and Lauren up to on the changes we need to make to
Section
Section 3, and see what they want, so we don't have to go back twice. Our next bit of new business was the need to recruit new members. And how are we gonna do that? On the comprehensive plan review committee, yeah, I'm on that with Anthony D. Cook and Kimberly Dallas. Kimberly Dallas was interested possibly in joining our committee here. She seemed very interested, and they had 3 or 4 other names of people who might be good candidates for it. And these are all ones from Messalonskee, you know, and some are different lakes, you know, North in Belgrade. So I'm going to firm up their names, and kind of see what they think, and then share it with the group and see if they want it.
You have to get in contact with them,
I'll get in contact with them.
right? But you haven't done that yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but Kimberly, yes.
I understand.
So I think we should probably bring her into our next meeting, and she's really, I think she's really interested in doing it, and make her the first one. Any thoughts on that? That I'll reach out to Kimberly and
Right.
confirm that her interest is still strong, and she'd like to be part of this new committee. And if she is, we'll bring her to our next meeting. And we can swear her in and do what we need to do. And also the other names, I'll follow up with them.
I mean, someone needs to talk to the president or the head of or some of the organized folks at the Friends of Messalonskee, because they should nominate someone to serve on the committee. It's really up to them to do that.
That makes sense.
I mean, I can do that if you'd like. I can be in touch.
Yes,
with
please do. That would be a,
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a name of Jenna Townsend, FON. And she-
Yeah, I know Jana, and I know I don't really know her personally, but I have had some interactions with there's an incoming president. Her first name's Katie, can't think of her last name. But I can be in touch with her.
Yes,
What's it called? Friends of Ms. Zelinski?
yeah.
I'm surprised that Mike didn't kind of let them know and that, that he was leaving the committee and suggest that, they find someone
Somebody
else.
else.
Maybe he did and they just haven't done anything. I don't know.
Has
Yeah,
has Mike submitted a written resignation to the select board?
No, I've sent him I've sent the town manager what he said, that he got a new job and would not be able to continue as a member of the committee. And he had to resign.
In the past, the board has always required a written resignation. I'm just wondering if they still do that or not. They should, actually.
I'll see with Lorna on that, and if so, I'll get it to Mike. I know a couple of members on the comp plan review committee just did it by email, and there was no.
I think email will be fine, but it should be specifically for that purpose, addressed to the select board.
So she has it now, his resignation, so I'll talk to her about what, if anything, we need to do with him or,
But keep in mind, she does not appoint committee members.
yeah. Mike, should I send that also to the chair of the select board? His resignation email?
Would you ask me?
Should I send his resignation email to the chair of the select board too? Just to,
I think the email would be sufficient.
yeah, okay, I'll send that out.
Actually, the way it should be done, if you may be all set on this one, but in the future, it should go to the select board with a copy of the town manager. CC her.
But I'll get that out ASAP to the select board. Thank you. Yes, there's no school for this stuff, so you need the expertise of the experts we have on the board here. Thank you, Mike.
There are manuals available through MMA. I wonder if they may have one for committees. I know I had one as a select person, but it might be worth looking into. Who would know about that is Mary.
Yeah, just so we get it so it's something to review before as these things come up.
Yeah, and you don't have to sit there and read it, read the whole thing. Just go whenever you have a particular question, you look at it. Anyway. Moving right along.
That was the new business. Any other new business you want to bring up? Seeing none, we have consideration of the July 5th, 2023 minutes. Has everybody seen them? We need a motion to approve.
Yeah, make a motion to approve.
A second. I see a second with Lenny. All those in favor? Say aye. Unanimous.
I apologize, it was so short, but the recording didn't work. So now I'm taking minutes manually as well.
That's good. That's good.
We're watching you, Paul.
Thank you.
So that is the agenda and the old business. Is there anything else we want to?
I didn't come across, does anybody know anything about this law called LD 2003?
Is that the ADU law where you?
Yeah.
This dwelling units? Yes, I know a little about that.
Is that gonna come before Belgrade?
It
It
was,
was just passed, it was enacted July 1st, 2023.
that's right, back when it was kind of in the, working stages, I told this to the planning board, this is gonna come, this was like a year ago.
Right.
And
Unless it was passed as an emergency measure, it won't go into effect till the fall, September.
So it's already been enacted.
yeah,
What is it about?
this means like, say you have a towns, it's a create density where there's, say, a typical town, our minimum lot size is, 1 acre. In areas of a town. So with our 1 acre lot, 1 acre piece of property, you could have one dwelling. With this law, Paul is talking about LD 2003. But you could have an accessory dwelling unit there, which means like another, like a tiny home or
Sure.
I think there's a square footage cap of maybe 800 square feet. And
The idea is that they want to encourage more housing, it's being done nationally,
yeah,
and this is basically done for affordable housing, but it's more than affordable housing, it's just creating more.
more housing to get, and rather than need to make new subdivisions, you can kind of put them where people are already living.
But I understand it's past the state,
Yes,
and then it's up to certain towns are objecting to it and suing the state
yeah,
because they don't want to adopt it. But is this something for the lake committee, or that they're gonna become the land committee, or is it's a planning board?
it's a planning board thing now, because they're the ones who, but I brought it up to as this is happening, it's gonna affect a lot of, land use. It's gonna be more dense. How do you deal with shoreland zoning with it,
Right,
or bad soils, runoff? More open areas, so there was a lot of questions, generated a lot of questions, I don't think we have an answer.
because a lot of these towns are objecting to it, as I understand it, because they're increased in municipal. Resources, more police, more fire, more people,
Exactly,
so it's gonna be a hotbed.
right, I've had even, people coming in here looking to do that. Just in real estate business, saying, we want to have an ADU here, there. It's the town's policy, I should get on to see the town office on this. But it's probably more prevalent on the coast now, because it's 4 or 5 companies making them now in Maine, and they're generally for the way upper end, these are maybe 800 square feet, and they're $300,000 or $250,000.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's such a minimum, but, the question I just bring it up, is this something for the town to look at, and if that is it planning board that looks at it, or would we as advisory board to the select board?
I think a little of both, it'd be in there, it'll be in there, you'll be the majority owner of that,
Okay,
but just like we would be weighing in like we did on solar and other issues or roads or.
okay,
But it really hasn't gelled yet. I don't think the planning board's had a workshop on it or anything to kind of, flesh it out with the public. But, it's definitely here and, coming.
yeah, it's gonna be bigger than houseboats.
Yeah, yeah. There'll be more places for them to go.
Yeah, I have one other thing to bring up. I had actually CC'd Pat on this earlier today. Pat, did you see those
Yeah,
emails in Santa Lorna?
on the roads,
Yeah, about McGraw Pond Road.
yeah,
Our good town roads commissioner, Mr. Stevens, is kind of at it again. They've done ditching on the part of McGraw Pond Road that's between Route 8 and Coldstream, which is a major inflow to Salmon Lake in the northwest corner of the lake. They've made a huge mess of it in a number of different ways. One way is that they've done ditching. Well, let me back up and just say, because of COVID, I have not been out very much. And in fact, I wasn't really out of my house all of last week until Friday. And it's when I first noticed it when I went by there on Friday. So it could have been like this for quite a while. They did, but they did a bunch of ditching and just left raw dirt. There was some ditching, a small portion of ditching where there was hay bales down or hay down, but a relatively small part. But there are other ditches, maybe 4 or 5 times that distance, where it's just left as raw dirt. And then in addition to that, and they went all along the road on both sides, not the entire part of the road there, which is about close to half mile, and it's all hill going down to the stream that goes right into the lake. And they just kind of scarfed the edge of the road back into the ditch area and took all the vegetation off. So it's just raw dirt and just left it that way, including right up to the stream on one side, on the north side of the road. And I just, it just it begs the imagination why they would have done this and what town they're living in. I just can't imagine. Anyway, I've been in touch with Lorna about this, and she has forwarded my emails and such to Jason Stevens, who says he will take care of all this tomorrow. But the obvious question is, why this ever happened in the first place, and what's going on with our roads crew, why they're doing these things. As you may recall, this sort of thing happened a couple of years ago on a different part of Town Farm Road. And Mr. Stevens had said that he was going to fix that, but never did. I wasn't as concerned about that part because it's a much higher part of the road, vertically higher, and quite a bit further away from the lake. But this is right at an entrance into the lake virtually. Where the stream crosses the road, it's just a couple hundred feet right into the lake from there. And a good rainstorm, this stream really runs hard. So a good gully washer rain, it just wash a whole bunch of dirt into the stream and it just flushed right into the lake. So, you have to wonder what's going on here. I mean, we spent all this time worrying about all these regulations that we have for shoreline zoning and everything. And then our road commissioner comes along and does stuff that's 10 times worse than anything that we could possibly deal with. So,
And it's not the first time.
and it's not the first time. So my guess is he's doing it not just here, but in other places too. All around, there are a lot more roads in and around Great Pond than there are around Salmon and McGraw. So my guess is he's doing it there as well, and Mesalonsky too, no doubt, and Long Pond. So I mean, what's with this guy, and why isn't somebody doing something else about it? Why isn't somebody else doing something about it? Do we have any purview here? I mean, I would think.
I think just bringing it up and then following up with the town manager.
Yeah.
I would think we maybe a meeting and bring her in and
Should we bring Jason in?
probably bring him in as well.
Well,
Kind of let her be
Yeah.
let her have the call on that, but. Yeah,
he'll come in if he wants to. I don't know that he has, we have any authority, whatever, over him. He's not quite sure. I mean, he's elected. I don't know what he's elected to do to his job, and he's kind of a contractor to the town as opposed to an employee. I don't know what that relationship is exactly.
he's elected. He's a town official, same as the people that work for the transfer station and the others. He has, he does have some rules and regulations he's supposed to follow. The only thing I'm thinking, listening to you, Lenny, is that, is he following those rules? If you've complained, how long ago did you complain to the town manager?
Oh, just a few hours ago, earlier this afternoon.
Well, she probably needs a little more time than that, but,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
I would
she just-
keep an eye on it, and if you don't get
Yeah.
any results, then go to the select board and raise Cain with them. We can do that.
Yeah, I understand. Right. I think we'll get results this time. The question is, what's it going to take to get this guy to pay more attention and to do the job right the first time? I don't know.
In the past, when when he was not elected, when he was appointed, this town manager had several arguments with his predecessor, with Jason's predecessor. And because he was appointed, town manager had very little authority over him. This guy, I think town manager's got more authority. He, by the way, does the road work for us at our my summer place on Jamaica Point, and he does a good job there. We don't have that kind of problem. I don't know why he does it on the public roads, unless it's because we have road commissioners who are looking over his shoulder the whole time.
Right.
That could be too.
He works, I'm a road commissioner in my neighborhood and he does the work for us. Been doing it for 7 or 8 years and he does a great job. So,
Same with Lake Shore Drive, Ryan.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know what the thing is. It'd be interesting to see why he's doing it. I guess that's what you're getting at. Anyway,
We can follow up with one of the.
Yeah,
did anybody ever talk to Jason and ask him what? Does he know he's causing a problem?
Well, all I know is that from the situation that was on the other part of McGraw Pond Road a couple of years ago, he said that, I didn't speak with him personally, but what got back to me was that he said that he was not there when it was done, that it was his crew that did it, and he was really sorry, and he'll make sure that it was fixed. But then it never got fixed.
I was the one that spoke to him and told you, Lenny, and I don't know what happened, but he was very apologetic and said he would get on it.
Well, he never got on it. Because it never got fixed.
Mhm.
And this what's happened here is 10 times worse.
What's the name of the road?
McGraw Pond, McGrath. It's not far from Paul. It's
No, I
not
know.
far from your
I
place.
know.
If you just continue up, huh?
I know it's cool. Go ahead.
If you just continue up Route 8, don't turn on Horse Point Road. You continue up Route 8, it's the first right-hand turn. It's
I
about
know, I thought it was Cold. You had another road.
Cold Brook is the name of the stream.
Oh, Cold Brook. Okay.
Yeah, so if you go up McGraw Pond Road and turn right, and that first half mile is where the problem is.
Where it dips down.
Right down to all the way down to the dip.
Yeah, okay. I know that from here.
Yep. It's mostly, as you're going in that direction, it's mostly on the left side.
Okay.
And mostly as you get towards the bottom near the dip.
take a right by.
And you'll notice if you can go, as you go past you go a little past the dip, you can turn around. There's a guy's driveway there just after the dip. As you come back at the dip is where the stream is. If you come past the stream, just past the stream, you'll notice it's not that there's no ditching there per se, but they have scarfed the side of the road into what was vegetation and just ripped it all up so that there's just raw dirt there, right, virtually from the edge of the stream. And if there were just a really heavy rain that sort of ran down parts of the road and such, would just it would just, all that would just run into the stream.
I can go over and take pictures of it.
Yeah,
I'll go, on my way home, I'll take pictures of it.
You can if you want, yep. Go take a look. Well, just go take a look.
Okay.
And there is one section, as I say, about a third, maybe 30-foot section where they did put down some hay. But that's just this one relatively small section. There are a number of other sections where it's just raw dirt.
Is it possible, Lenny, that he just made a poor judgment call? That he put down hay in one spot, he might have thought that took care of the problem? Or is it just screwed up?
Well, I mean, I'm not quite sure I understand the difference. It's all the same. I mean, there's, if you put down hay in one section and then left 3 other sections raw dirt, I don't know.
Well, if
said,
the
"Oh,
other the other sections were somewhat level, he might have felt it wouldn't. wasn't-
Well, they weren't there. There's one section further up towards Route 8 that's pretty level, but there's several of the sections that are raw dirt or not level. They're sloped. But I mean, best management practice. He's supposed to be doing BMPs, best management practices, and those you never just leave raw dirt. That's just the way it is. I mean, if you go and look and see what DOT is doing, well, not that you're going to go do this, but if you go look on, they've just finished ditching on Route 137 in Oakland, and it's beautiful. They put down fiber mats in the bottoms of the ditches, and then they put hay all along the sides. It really looks nice, and it's presumably it's effective. And I mean, I think the most that Mr. Stevens is doing is just throwing some hay down.
You can't have raw dirt, I mean.
yeah,
They just did it on my road, Great Pond Road, and it's just did a nice job of cleaning it up, but it's just raw dirt.
no,
There's no hay on it or anything,
no hay or mat.
no.
Well, they're really, to do it right, there should be mat down at the bottom and hay along the sides. And they're not doing, anything close to that. Right now, they're just leaving raw dirt.
No.
Does the town have specs or that they're required? to
I do
follow?
not know if the town has specs.
Somebody should-
Not likely. One of the things I think we should do is lobby to see that his budget is increased, because I suspect part of the reason he's not putting down mats are expensive. And if it's not accounted for in your budget, he's not gonna do it. He can't do it. But that's something we could do to avoid future problems. Get them, when budget time comes up, lobby to get more money in his budget so he can do the job properly.
Well, that's certainly something we could look into. This is pretty important stuff. If
Yeah,
you're doing-
I agree, and I don't think that anything you've said is wrong. I mean, anything you've done is wrong. But we need to follow the right ways to get it fixed. Let's see what happens with the town manager. You may find that he's out there today fixing it on tonight.
Well, she sent all that stuff to him, and he said that he would fix it tomorrow. This was as of today. He said he'd fix it tomorrow, so.
All right, well, hopefully he will.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, then go back to the town manager.
I will, but there's fixing it, so we'll see what they do.
Big thing, though, I think you're right, though. It may very well be that his crew doesn't know what's right, how to do it right. In which
Right.
case, that's something he said definitely should fix.
You know, the right specs,
Right,
right up front, yeah.
yeah,
How it has to be done.
I can tell you, on the whole, he's done a good job, and the town's been pretty satisfied with it, on the whole.
So Mike, the town probably doesn't have a spec like the state does on their roads when they're ditching, as Lenny said, they get the fabric down first, then you then mulch over it, or they grind up the hay and spray it right off, so it really gets.
I don't recall anything like that, like, requiring mats or whatever. I just can't remember for sure. But more than likely, they refer to state standards, the state requirements. I don't know whether the state requires matting. But I think that's probably what they've heard of the state sets the standards. DOT,
Certainly it wanted steep slopes or areas where it's gonna drain into. Estuary or running
Well-
stream.
yeah, we're all concerned, they were all supposedly concerned about the lakes, and if this kind of thing is going on in a way in the proximity to the lake or where it can get into the lake or contaminate the lake, then yeah, something should be done. Luckily, it's only McGraw Pond and not one of the good lakes.
This is Salmon Lake. It is one of the good lakes.
Well, it sounds like at a minimum, we should have the town manager report to us to what the specs are and what's going on.
Yeah,
I agree. That's a very good point. I think you're right about that for sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
What are the
Let's
specs?
see what happens. I mean, you only talked to her today. You got to give her a little more time.
Right. Well, maybe
Yeah.
next month. Let's find out, does the town have specifications? And if not, maybe we need to work on getting some specifications in place.
You know who you might talk to is who's chairman of the planning board now?
Sarah?
Sarah,
Sarah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sarah,
Right,
Lund-
just check with her. They might know. If anybody knows, it would be them, I would guess. Other than Jason ought to know, but I don't remember anything in the nature of a town ordinance.
or requirement to use best practices, at least up to what the state of Maine would do.
Do they have the money for it?
Yeah, they build it into the budget before
Right.
they do it. I think this is something we should follow up on and chase down till
Yeah, I think we should have,
it's the second time, at least.
right.
Any other topics? You all set? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second,
Thank you. Paul has done a great job. He's got all the minutes right beside us, so it's gonna be good, so. Letty, we'll just wait to see from you on the,
Yep, I'll let you know how that looks for now, but no matter how this particular situation turns out immediately, I think we should pursue the question we were just talking about.
yes, immediately.
sayonara.
Okay,
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Pat. Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
And then I'll make sure I keep this.
It's supposed to automatically keep it.
Stop recording.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll see if anybody's. Okay.
All right. So it wasn't anything that, I don't know what got started last time. So you're just gonna go in and you're gonna just say, and end the meeting for all. That's